Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me. Run through the land you run.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Today we have from Natick, Massachusetts, Meena Jain. And Meena is the director of the Bacon Free Library in Natick. And I found an article about what's called, it's becoming more popular, the Little Free Libraries. And they look like birdhouses.
Right.
Welcome, Meena.
Thank you for
First,
having me.
we're going to try and zero in on some of these. Some of you out there may have seen these. First of all, what are they and how do people make them? Where do they come from?
So Little Free Libraries is actually an organization, and they started years ago, and they have millions of Little Free Libraries around the world. So people can actually make their own, just like a little birdhouse, as you said, or they can buy them ready-made from Little Free Libraries. And that's what we did for ours, because it was just, we had some ideas about them, but we didn't know if we could actually get them made. So if you see them dotted around town, usually it'll be the person who lives there has made one or has ordered one from Little Free Libraries.
I love it. Now, to me, looking at it, it looks like a birdhouse, right? And then there's a little door on it.
Yep.
Does it have to have a door?
Yes, because it is weather resistant.
Okay.
So that they're outside, so no rain, no snow shouldn't get into them.
So outside of the library or your home or whatever, you can put this up. It's like a little birdhouse with a door, and you can just put in some books that you'd like to share with your neighbors. They can donate something or just take it, and you just keep replenishing it.
Correct.
How long has this been going on?
I feel like the Little Free Library organization has been around for about 15, 20 years. I'd have to check on the dates, but it's been going on for quite some time. It's not new to Natick. People do have them on their home, on their property, but this was the first time that it's been done as a sort of a coordinated effort in Natick. We, as you know from the article, we had a grant from MathWorks for 6 Little Free Libraries, which we were able to dot around town. And there's a lot of information about them. So, you tell me what you want to know, and I'll be happy to tell you.
Well, first of all, do you have to get an okay from the town to put it on your lawn?
No, not if it's on your own lawn.
On your own. It's a post. You get a post, and then you glue it on or mount it to that, right?
Right.
And then you can put in as much as you want. Do you put a little sign on it that says, please take, and then please donate, or just...
Well, if you buy it from Little Free Libraries, it has a plaque that says Little Free Libraries, take one, give one.
Oh, okay, so it
yes.
does take
If it doesn't, then you can make your own, or you can get one from them. The plaques, they're happy to send out.
Well, let's see if Paul could use zero in on this. But there's so many. I can see one here where she has sponge painted it. Love that. Okay, this is what they look like. Actually, you could probably build one, right? But how much does it cost to get one from the Little Free Library?
They have different costs for them. So we bought one. Each was about $200. Okay. It didn't include shipping, but it included the actual house, the post, and the plaque that came with it. So, and it came in a huge box, ready-made.
Already?
Yeah, ready to go. No, that wasn't enough for us, though. We really wanted, not only did we want to have the Little Free Libraries around town, we also wanted to incorporate the community into the activity, into the program. So we asked local artists and high school students to paint them. So we bought them plain, nothing on them. Yeah. So we had several artists paint them. And then we had, once we had them up, and we had somebody install them, we asked families if they would adopt them and let us, and so they were in charge of making sure that there was always books in them. Yeah. So it really became a pretty big community activity.
How many homes would you say in Natick have it out front?
I can't say, maybe like 5 or 7.
Okay, you're getting there.
Yeah, and then this, of course, the 6, but these are all put on public properties. So the Bacon Free Library is part of an organization called the Charles River Community Groups. That includes Broadmoor, which is Mass Audubon, Elm Bank, which is part of Mass Hort, the Elliott Church, the Natick Historical Society, and the Natick Community Organic Farm. And so when we knew we were going to be getting these little free libraries, we reached out to them initially to see who would want to have one on their property, who could handle having one on their property, basically. And Broadmoor and Elliott Church and Elm Bank all wanted one.
Yeah.
And so they all have them. The Broadmoor one has the little fox on it.
I'm looking at, I think that's it. Yeah,
It's
oh,
the
I
fox,
see
yeah.
them, okay.
And the Elm Bank has the birds on it. They have a lot of weddings there, so they wanted something a little,
Yeah.
really naturey and.
That's at the Mass Horticultural?
Mass Horticultural. And the one at Elliott Church has the rainbow flag on the back.
Okay, I see it, yep.
Yeah. And so those were all painted. The two for Elm Bank and Broadmoor were painted by high school students, honors art students at the high school.
Oh, no wonder.
And you know what was really special about that was that when we talked to them, they met with people at the locations to see what theme they wanted, what kind of thoughts they had on it, and they could collaborate. Was that they said, we remember going to these places when we were children, and that's what brought up the ideas for what we wanted to paint. Not necessarily like what we were told, but just that feeling of, nature and community and art. It was just really amazing to hear from them. So
It is.
5 high school students did that.
Yeah.
And I listed their names on those flyers if you can.
I see them.
Yeah.
Okay, see, let's celebrate them. Natick High School students, Katie Hodges,
Mm-hmm.
Melissa Chisholm, Leah Adams, Lucy Robert, Michael Brooks. I think we got them all.
Yeah. 5 of them.
So they were the ones who contributed to the Broadmoor
And Elm Bank.
and the Elm Bank.
Right.
And the other, now who did these other ones?
So the Elliott Church was a member of their church, and one of their leaders of their church, actually, Lee Manuel. And she went way above and beyond. She actually created mullions that matched the windows in the church,
Yep.
and slats on each side. So it actually looks like the church with the flag on the back.
Oh my God.
It was
I haven't heard of the
unbelievable.
Elliott Church. What denomination?
Oh, it's non-denominational. It's kitty corner to the library, and I don't know if you know the history of Natick, but John Eliot brought the praying Indians to Natick so that they could worship in without persecution in the 1600s, and he actually wrote a Bible in Algonquin so that they could. So they were Christian, Catholic Christian. So. The Elliott Church is where the praying Indians currently worship once a month. So it's really they've kept that continuity, and then they have regular services on Sundays with
hadn't known that. Hadn't
it's
even heard of it.
unbelievable. It's so nice to have that right in the center. Well, not in the center, but like right as part
Right
of our
there.
corner there.
And then you have the Falls Park next to the Bacon Free Library.
Yes, and that one was based on us and the Historical Society, because the Bacon Free Library building houses both the library and the Historical Society. So we want to kind of honor that. And so Bren Bataclan, who is this amazing artist and friend of the library and has done much for the community, painted that with a baseball, because we had a baseball factory,
I see
a
it,
boot
yeah.
because
It
we
has
had a shoe
eyes.
factory. Yes,
And a
that
duck?
was
Is it a duck?
The duck, because it's on the river,
Yeah.
and also the library is known for having ducks. Ducks and trucks. The kids come and play with them.
Yeah.
So he did that, and he painted a little book on the duck, which was super
I see that
cute.
on the roof, right?
Yes. No, it's on the back
It's
of
on
it.
the back of it.
Yeah.
The duck's on the back, but is it the roof? Okay,
It's-
the roof's a roof. All right.
Yeah, there was nothing on the roof.
All right.
But so yeah, he painted that one for us, and then another local artist, Denise Girardin,
Mhm.
painted the one for J.J. Lane Park, and she is whimsical and sweet and.
Kind of abstract, fun,
a little bit
fairy, yeah.
abstracted. And you had said something about sponging, but she didn't actually sponge it.
She did?
No, I don't think she did. I'll have to ask her, but I think it's
Some sort of a very free.
yes. She's very free spirited.
I like the
love
way they
her.
put the books in. It looks like these are probably all ordered from it, right? From
No,
the-
we put all the books in.
No, I mean from the Little Free Library Association. Were these all ordered from?
Yes, all 6
Okay.
of them were ordered.
Because they
from
all have like a 2-tier,
Mhm.
one for the
We
bottom,
wanted that.
one for the top. If someone were to take a birdhouse and make it, they might be able to do this about the same thing too.
Mhm.
That's a lot of, you can squash in, I'm seeing this one that she did, you could squash in quite a few books.
We did.
That's a lot.
And you know that one, as far as I know, has been refilled at least 5 or 6 times in the last 2 months. People, and we have pictures actually. If you go back to this one,
Yeah.
we have pictures of kids and families taking books out of them. That's just since we put them up.
Do you ever have, as I think I said, my main problem would be vandals.
We haven't had any issues with that yet, but that's why we wanted somebody to adopt the libraries if possible, so they could keep an eye on it, check on it weekly. I haven't really heard of people vandalizing them in Natick. One of the things I read, though, that was that, I won't even tell you because it's too weird, but some people take the books and don't use them for, like, reading. Let's just say they use them for other things, for profit. But we haven't had that problem, and most of the books that we've been putting in there are weeded from the Bacon Free Library collection, so there's that connection between the library and the Little Free Library.
I see it looks like a double. Hers was a double one? No.
They all
just
are.
a door.
They all have
the
two
tiers.
Two tiers.
Now you have at the Little Free Library reception in October 15th, Sunday. What does that mean?
So actually, we have a Little Free Library crawl on October 15th.
Okay.
So people can go to 5 of the Little Free Libraries during the day, take a picture of themselves with it, and at the end of the 3 hours, they could come to the library for a reception, and they can get a prize for visiting them all.
You know something, I should introduce, you should go downstairs afterwards and meet our wonderful director, our librarian, Matt. Matt Bechtold, and this would be a great idea here in this town.
I think every town should do it.
Yeah.
But I have to say that the idea for Little Free Library Crawl came from a recent activity that we had at the library called a library crawl, where 12 libraries in the area were open for the day, and people could go to as many as they wanted, but at least 5 to get a prize. So we already knew that we wanted to do something where people could go to all of them, the libraries, and now we thought, let's adapt that for the Little Free Libraries.
Yeah.
And then the reception from 4 to 5:30 the same day, obviously, is to give out prizes. But we've invited all the artists, all the people from MathWorks, anybody who's been involved, and of course anybody in the community is welcome to join us to celebrate our Little Free Libraries.
How are you getting the word out more and more, especially if we're being on here? We're going to really get this out, but besides being on here, how are you getting this out? Because it's such a great idea.
About the reception?
About that, of course, but about these Little Free Libraries.
We are really good at promoting the library. So, like, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Meetup, we advertise in the local papers. We often have articles in both the Natick Tab and the Metro West Daily News.
That's
where you saw it, right?
Yeah.
And we advertise all over the place, the Natick Town pages, the Natick Town website. We really are very far out there with promoting.
And you're the director.
Yes.
So you get to be, some people aren't cut out for it. You can see it, your face, all lights up, your eyes are like glowing. You enjoy it.
I do.
You really do. That's what we need in CEOs and libraries. We need someone who, I love this, but you can see it.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. If someone were going to go up to the Natick Free Library from here, now you came in from Medway, right?
I did.
Right. How long is your commute from Medway to Natick?
It's only 20 minutes.
All right, coming from here, how do people get up to Natick? Do they go on Route 9?
They could go 135, they could go Route 9, they could take the Pike, they could do whatever's easiest for them.
Mm-hmm.
We're in South Natick, so we're actually on Route 16, not Route 135.
Okay.
There's 2 libraries in Natick.
Well, 16 is also in Milford.
Yes.
So if we it goes up through Holliston?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You just stay on 16 until you hit the library. You've probably, most people have probably passed it because it's right on the bend where the Charles River bends. There's the falls there. There's a Charles River Coffee House across the street. The Elliott Church kitty corner to us. It's sort of a landmark of South Natick, and it's this beautiful old brick building, which is not immediately recognizable as a library. In fact, I shouldn't tell you this, but when I interviewed for my job, I actually passed it by it 3 times because I was like, "Where's this library?" It's showing on my GPS, and I'm there.
Small?
It's small. Yes, it's 2 stories. It's this beautiful brick building.
Yeah.
People should definitely
How old
come
was
by.
it? When was it built?
1880.
Okay. Yeah, it's up there.
It is. And the original benefactor, I should always mention this, it was Oliver Bacon.
Yep.
And his wife used to rent or let people borrow books from her own library. And so when he passed, in his will, he specified that a brick building should be made, or a fireproof building should be built in South Natick. And the upper level should be the library, and the lower level should have space for the Historical Society.
Are you in the CW, our sister?
No, we're in the Minuteman system.
Okay, I found out the hard way. I went to Ashland one time, and I forgot what happened, and I gave them my regular card. Or something. She said, well, we're not in your same system, and they're not right up the street.
Yeah.
So, and Hopkinton's on our system, so I've got a Minuteman card somewhere. My parents were in Foxborough, so they have Minuteman. Franklin. Medway? No. Medway, there? Okay.
Yeah.
The CW one. It's a great system. Does yours, can you actually go to any of your system libraries and have them order for you? Okay, so it's the same here.
It is.
Meena, tell people how they can reach you about these little free libraries.
Or anything. We're at 58 Elliott Street in South Natick, and our phone number is 508-653-6730, and you can email us at bfl@minlib.net, and our website is baconfreelibrary.org. And we have so many things going on there. I was just telling you about some of our online auctions.
Yeah.
And
what's that like? What's that all about?
So a few years ago, we started doing this Children's Illustrators auction, and we had close to 85 illustrators donate art and books, which we then auctioned off for the library, and it was super successful. So we've done 2 of those so far, and our last, then we did this other thing last year called Author Confidential, where we had 79 authors, and people could bid on asking them 3 questions, and if they won, that author would send them a letter with the responses.
Local like we have
No, big authors.
Yeah, girls, there's some of them on here.
There's some really good authors locally, but also we had like David Baldacci and Bill Bryson and Diana Gabaldon.
I read Baldacci.
Okay.
He's that mystery suspense dude.
Lee Child was
Lee Child, I read him too. You know who I'd love to have? He passed away, Robert Parker.
I know.
But someone named Ace Atkins.
Yes.
Can you explain to me, does Ace, is he writing in actual books that were left over from Robert Parker? He's making it up as he goes, like Parker.
Right, exactly. Okay. And using the same characters. So he's continued his series. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's so simple. You go through it. Yes and no answers very often. That's my favorite of all of them. Robert Parker. He died way too young.
Yeah.
He was only 60-something.
I know. It's so sad. I'm sure that he had many more stories to tell.
Again, people watching are saying, Jan's talking about little free libraries. Now, we don't mean going to someone's town and looking for a box like this, a little free library. It's an actual kind of box, like a birdhouse, that you can, and you may have seen them, people can put them up in front of a library. I think Bellingham has one, of course, Bacon Free. Your house, little, birdhouse, you can decorate it, have a door, and you can just donate some books in it and put a little sign on it if you don't buy from the association that just says donate, and please take one and donate. I just wouldn't want people to think that if they can't, some people might even be able to afford to donate.
Right.
So how do I get that message across?
Well, I think that's actually been happening as people are taking the books because they're in parks and they're on, church property, and that was the 6th location, was the Common Street Church at Natick Common. In that one, we've also refilled many times because people don't expect to have to turn a book in. They actually have, at the Common Street Church, they have a daycare, and so I'm hoping that children from there are taking the books. There is no expectation on our part that people put books back. We hope that they do if they have the ability to, but really this was the opportunity for us to make books accessible for people that might not have access, and to outreach to the community and to promote literacy, which is always our goal.
Do you make it on the little sign, as I say, I would say please feel free to take one and donate one, but do you have to keep it to one? Or what do you do?
Nope.
What do you say? Just feel free to take and donate.
It says take one, give one. If you want to, you can. If you don't have the ability or opportunity, that's fine.
I would love seeing this out. Heck, I don't know if my husband would agree, but I would put it right out in front of my lawn. And
it's
what a
really
cute
great.
idea. We have so many dog walkers that come by and there are children in my neighborhood. And I'm an avid reader. So I'm like, oh, I'm through with this
I
one
can
now. I'm gonna donate. I've got
Yeah.
tons at home.
Yeah.
And of course, we have to, as you walk in the library here, they have that little for sale section right there. You can
Mhm.
buy them for like little money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is awesome.
Right. Well, I don't know how much more time we have, but we actually were very fortunate with MathWorks, and I really want to give them a shout out because they immediately came on board for this and paid for everything. I mean, it was part of our grant proposal to say we need a certain amount of money to do this,
Yeah.
but they were so on board with it. And when we mentioned, as a department head in Natick, I mentioned it to the town administrator and the other department heads, and they had so many ideas of places to put it: train stations, low-income housing, senior centers, the food pantry, so many places.
Sure.
And so we might do a second round
Yeah.
because it's been incredibly successful and rewarding. So I feel like it can expand. Although I think I told you there's 2 libraries in Natick, and the larger library, which is on 135, the Morse Institute Library,
Yeah.
we were talking about them possibly putting something at the train stations, maybe a bit bigger.
Yeah.
You know, like they have these kiosks that look like food vendor kiosks,
Yeah.
and you could actually put books in them.
Coffee
And-
shops.
Yep,
maybe.
coffee shops, anywhere. You can put them anywhere. But the point of it is really to get books into the hands of families,
Yeah.
seniors,
There's
anybody.
too much of this going on.
Yes.
I know if I'm in a doctor's waiting room. Oh my God! It's
Phones.
not generated. I mean, I see more people under 70 doing it
Mhm.
than over. But I bring a book to read.
Yeah.
I don't want the TV in my face or anything. I don't need this. I just want to read.
I have to tell you that when I'm in the doctor's office on my phone, I'm reading a book. I
Yeah.
have books on my phone. I have
Oh,
books
so
on my
you've
Kindle.
got the
Yes, I have.
Kindle, right? Or-
I have a phone, and I have the Overdrive app, which
Yeah.
is from the library, so I download books for free from the Overdrive app, and I read it anywhere. I read at the parks. I read everywhere.
You don't like that feeling of being able to hold it and smell it and read?
Well, Jan, I have to tell you, I have very bad eyes. I just dropped my reading glasses.
Okay.
But for me, a Kindle is a lifesaver because I can change the font on it very
Oh,
easily.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and I can't read large print books because,
Right.
and I think people will tell you sometimes it makes you feel dizzy because it's so big. So on my Kindle, I change the font according to where I'm at.
I had no idea. I can pass this along to people.
You should. It's
Yeah.
a lifesaver for me,
Yeah.
and I've been able to read it. And I download audiobooks
Mhm.
out of Overdrive, and I listen to them all the time. I'm
Sure.
listening to them in my car as we speak.
Yeah.
Well, not as we speak, but you know what I mean. Like
Sure.
there are many ways to get free books
Mhm.
from the library system, and it's not just coming into the library. And I feel like people have much more access than they've ever had before. It's just about knowing where to get them from.
I think this is great. The more we could get this idea out to more of our libraries, it's inexpensive.
It's free.
Fun. And you know, it's like, can you imagine, like, the only thing I would think of is if somebody says, well, I would feel embarrassed opening something up and taking it.
Oh no.
No.
No. You see people standing there going through the books,
Yeah.
you know, and so it's one of those things. It's almost anonymous,
Yeah.
you know. Like people don't know what you're taking. They don't know what you're looking at. They don't know if you're bringing one back.
Sure.
Just do it.
Yeah.
It's the same with having an e-reader. People have no idea what you're reading.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and that's very freeing.
Yeah, except if I'm in a waiting room, right? We had about a couple of minutes left. If I'm in a waiting room and I'm seeing I'm with my book and I'm seeing somebody else over there with a book, I can't resist. I'm like, what you reading? I'll say, what you reading? And then we become friends.
Yep, absolutely. Books are very engaging.
Meena, one more time. How can people reach you if they have questions about the Little Free Libraries?
Oh, okay. So
Or you
call
go
us
to
at the
your
library, 508-653-6730. Email us at bfl@minlib.net, or check our website at baconfreelibrary.net, baconfreelibrary.org, and check us on Facebook. We constantly update our content.
So this is what we're talking about, the Little Free Libraries. Meena Jain is the director at the Bacon Free Library in Natick. And they have one of those little, you have one, right up there. It's one or two of the little birdhouse libraries.
We have one right by us.
Oh, it's so cool. All it is, this is like, you get one of those birdhouses, you know, you can paint it, whatever. Make sure there's a little door. Put a little sign on it, donate one, take one, whatever. And then they can go in, you know, your job, if you're going to have it on your lawn or your librarian or whatever, make sure you got books in it. And then, you know, there's, you know, people don't have to donate, but it, you know, it's kind of a cool thing.
Right.
It's a good thing to teach your child. Like I could tell my son, all right, when you're done, pick out which book you want to donate to the little.
That's awesome.
And it does. It looks like, and you can decorate it. It doesn't. See, you don't have to be a super artist. Get the kids out with their brushes. Do that type of thing.
We saw one in Natick that had a little container at the bottom. One had dog food and one had candy. I was like, I wouldn't put candy in it, but the dog food was.
They were with books.
Yeah, the books were in the thing, and underneath was this little container that had.
People could take the dog food.
Yeah. Awesome.
Whoa. I'll take a steak dinner though.
People are so creative.
Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is wonderful. In fact, you've given me a huge idea. I hope I can do it. All right. This sounds really good. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time and be my guest.
All right.